How will your economic development proposals serve women and their families in the country, in the county? And please be as specific as possible in your answer.
One of the things that I am strongly advocating is that we work to create not just more jobs, but that we create in our schools, that we implement programs where we are training our students to move into jobs that we have available. 25% of our high school graduates in Montgomery County no longer go on to college. At the moment, we have 27,000 job vacancies in Montgomery County, but there's a skill gap. And so I think that what every family wants to see is their children be able to succeed, their children to be able to go on and live here in the county after they get out of school. And so one of the things that I am proposing, and I've talked to Jack Smith, who's the school superintendent, he is also very much working on this, is that we really need to make sure that we are providing training in our high schools so that when kids come out, they can go directly into jobs. And so I also feel strongly that in order to continue to keep our school system at the high level it is now, we really must do more to encourage more businesses to locate in the county and to be active partners with us as we seek to educate every child. Thank you.
I think you are a majority in the county. So everything we do should improve women's lives. So when we improve the economy in our county, it will improve women's lives. So I'm one of these people, I'm all in on the Amazon bid. We may not get it, but you ought to take some pride in the fact that we are one of 20 communities in North America under consideration for Amazon. It would transform our county. We are talking about a $40 billion net economic benefit and $2 billion in investment in our county by the state. That will do incredible things for our county. But I've also focused on small business. I was a small business person. For 18 years, I owned and ran my own small business. So I've been a big advocate for small businesses on the county council. And finally, what I would say to you is I was proud to pass what's called a microloan program. And a microloan program allows people who don't otherwise get access to credit that want to start a small business, maybe buy a sewing machine, maybe buy equipment that can lead them to being a cook, and then start their business. And now, for the first time, our county has a microloan program which will help women. Thank you.
So, as I meet with the nonprofit community and I meet with these various governmental organizations about the services that we provide, whether it's domestic violence or Planned Parenthood or education, the ideas are out there. But they're very unevenly dispersed across the county because we don't have the funding. And so when I got into this race and I started peeling back the onion and said, okay, so why? Why do we have certain programs for some individuals but not for everyone? It's about funding. It's about money. And that's why I put so much effort into my economic development plan. We unveiled it a couple weeks ago. It's a 20-page document that includes conversations that we've had with hundreds of business owners here in Montgomery County, as well as best practices from around the country. Because we've got to start creating jobs and expanding the economy here so that we can pay for all of those services, right? We can't let those services slip, and in fact, we need to be investing more money into them. Thank you.
I launched the local small business reserve, which was responsible for $93 million of procurement above the $248 million for minority, female, and disabled-owned businesses. The local small business reserve is entirely local, small, Montgomery County-based businesses. I'm very enthusiastic about a nonprofit service provider called Empowered Women International, which assists primarily immigrant women to develop business plans and start up and realize their vision. It recently merged with the Latino Economic Development Council, and those two organizations together hold great potential for, I think, revitalizing some of our vacant retail space. We need to move from the traditional mixed-use approach to community development to maker spaces where multiple small startup businesses can occupy commercial space, perhaps to make jewelry or distill whiskey or make handbags or do sewing projects that people could walk by in an urban placemaking sense and see this activity going on, it would be an exciting way to fill the increasingly vacant retail space. My 2 senior staff members, most senior, are both women. My chief of staff, Patty Vitale, is the longest-serving chief of staff at the county council, and my campaign is directed by Jessica Moore, who's worked for me for more than 10 years.
We give them places to operate, but we don't give them business training. And anybody who knows the business world, you can have the greatest idea in the world. If you cannot get it from an idea into a product, you're not ever going to go anywhere. I want to expand our dual degree programs. We started doing degrees where you leave high school with a certificate and a skill, and also with your high school diploma. We need to do more of that because too many of our kids leave high school and they're not prepared for college. And if they're not prepared for college, they're not prepared for work. So we've got to show them what the possibilities are to do work and find work in the community. I proposed to the superintendent we look at pipelines from high school to college. That we look at things like, we talk about the lack of diversity in our teaching force and our counselors. Well, why not identify students in the middle school and high school years, get them into programs in high school, and then have programs at the universities of Shady Grove, where if you maintain your grades and you go through the programs at the universities of Shady Grove, you are guaranteed that you'll be hired in the county. And if you get hired in the county and you work here for a certain number of years, then you don't have to pay your tuition.
Generations ago, you were more likely to have one working parent. And now we have 2 working parents like we do in my household. And yet, you know what? We don't feel twice as rich. We don't feel twice as affluent. It feels like the middle class is working harder than ever, and we are not getting better off faster than ever. So I think we need to be growing our economic base here in Montgomery County. We are falling behind our peers in the county. We are spending a lot of time commuting. My wife Bethany, here in the audience, has joined a consulting firm, and the consulting firm opened their DC office. You know where they opened it? Tyson's Corner. Because for the consulting world, that's where the promising targets are. Those are where the big companies are. We need to grow our economy here in Montgomery County. I think that comes down to talent, taxes, and transportation. We need to make sure that we have the right talent, the right young people that businesses want to hire. We need to be attractive to young people. We need to build communities that they want to come to. We need to make sure our tax base and our regulatory structure work well. If you talk to our small business owners, they often feel that their local government is their biggest opponent, and we need to solve our transportation issues.
Thank you.